games, and then again the 2-0 series lead over Nashville. And then also tomorrow night in the Western Conference, a 9:30 puck drop in St. Louis as the Blues play host to the Dallas Stars. That series even at a game apiece, a pair of 1-goal games in that series. The Stars taking game 1 last week by a 2-1 count, and then last night, St. Louis Blues pulling even in overtime. David Backes had the game winner in a 4-3 overtime win for the St. Louis Blues. So that series even at a game apiece. Before we hear from Eric his pregame chat earlier today with John Walton, we're going to head to the phones and say hello to Colin, calling us from Michigan. Hello, Colin.
Hi. I was wondering, do you agree with Brooks Orpik's 3-game suspension?
Well, we certainly anticipated additional discipline, Colin, whether it was going to be 2 games or 3 games. I'm going to go with Brooks Orpik on this one. Brooks Orpik himself acknowledging it was fair, and he thought he got what he deserved. Barry Trotz believing maybe it was a little excessive, maybe it would have been 2 games, but really in that neighborhood, Colin, 2 or 3 games is what many expected. I think when you take into consideration, though, that playoff games, a case could be made when it comes to suspension. These are really double the amount of a regular season game. When you think about it that way, if this was 6 regular season games, I think that starts to sound a little bit towards excessive, but we expected something, whether it was going to be 2 games or 3 games. Again, we certainly figured in that neighborhood. And keep in mind, from the Pittsburgh Penguins' perspective, they could be without Olli Maatta for the rest of the series. So significant loss on their part as well. So we'll see if the Capitals can manage here without Brooks Orpik. Again, the story of the day, as Orpik will be out tonight, games 3, 4, and 5, and Dmitry Orlov likely to draw back in tonight. So something worth watching from a Capitals perspective, how Dmitry Orlov looks as he gets back in the lineup after sitting as a healthy scratch in game 2 over the weekend. But again, 2 or 3 games, I think we figured it was going to be in that neighborhood, and ultimately the NHL's Department of Player Safety settling on 3 games as the verdict for Brooks Orpik. We'll hear a little bit more from the Capitals dressing room a little bit later on. We'll hear from goaltender Braden Holtby, but before we do that, I want to head inside the Capitals dressing room earlier today following their morning skate.